How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people?
What's going on, people? I got my battery. Let's see if everything goes according to plan as far as this camera is going to play out. Anyway, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. But you know what I noticed? That it's Christmas, but it don't seem like Christmas. There is no light. There is no, you know, have these little candles and stuff inside the windows and stuff, you know, because it's Christmas Eve, you know, it's Christmas Day. It is no lights on the streets. It's no lights in the windows. It's no, you know how people decorate their houses. Because I'm in a residential area with all houses and stuff, and no houses are decorated, no trees, no, it's just blank. It's like you would never know it was Christmas if you wasn't knowledgeable of the day that it was, you know. And I went out yesterday because I needed to get some air, you know, within me and my life and stuff. Of course, I'm always by myself, and you know, I needed to get out the house. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go out. I did a little prayer like I always do, you know, and I go outside and stuff because I have that Oopala long hair. And, you know, and with me, when I wear that long hair, this is what I always think. You know, you got that long hair, which means that if somebody grabs you, they're going to beat your butt because you only could go in the direction as the hair is being pulled and stuff. And it's not a wig, so you know, you got Gorilla Glue holding it on, so whatever way they pull it, you're going to go. So, you know, I always keep my Oopala on my head because I'm like this, you know, when it jumps, you know. Not saying that I'm out there looking for that, you know, but I always try to be prepared for the unexpected. You know, because we live in basically in the belly of the beast, and we really don't know who's watching you, or, you know. But anyway, so I went to New York and everything, so as I'm going out there and stuff, I was like, you know what? I went to the World Trade. Now, remember, I had told you before, the trains was like doing a schedule type of thing, so it wasn't taking you to 33rd Street. What you had to do was stay on the World Trade Center, go straight in, and you have to get a shuttle and go way over to New York. Well, last night they decided to change the plan, and basically, when I got to the World Trade, there was no shuttle, so I had to walk. Now, you may say, well, Ray, why don't you get the subway? Ray, don't listen. I watch these YouTube videos, and I watch what goes on down in that not basement, the, inside these subways and stuff, and I don't know where I'm going. And one thing I learned when I get into the subway, I don't know where it's taking me. You know, you can say 33rd Street, and I go 33rd Street, this is not the 33rd Street that I'm supposed to get off at, so I'm a little confused. I like to kind of know where I'm going, and especially when I'm in a territory I'm really not familiar with. So anyway, that being said, so I'm walking and stuff, so I get to work, so it's okay, fine, I walk. And you know me, I love to walk, you know, I'm very, as far as athletic, you know, I love to work out. Well, I used to, since I lost so much weight, and but I love to walk and stuff like that. So I'm walking and stuff, and you know, you would say, well, Raven, you know, I have that long hair in my head.
Literally, like nobody out here but me. The people without families, me.
So you said, well, maybe, you know, you just asked for trouble, which I was not, but this is the thing. When you have so much on your mind at that point, you just walk, you don't even care. You know, and I took the hair and I wore loose and everything, and I'm just walking and walking and walking, and there was no lights, no Christmas lights, no people out celebrating, nothing, dead. You would think that you was walking through a funeral the way I saw. You know, this is like even, not even like 1 o'clock in the morning yet, and the place is like empty, everywhere empty. Got up further where the action jumps at, empty, nobody. You know, and I kept going and stuff, so, you know, went into the bar, and so, a place where I was much more familiar with, you know, where people know who I am, and I kind of like to play it a little safe. You know, I don't want to go too far out when nobody really knows me, and you know, and I get to the bar and stuff like that, and I'm sitting there and I talk to a couple guys and stuff. Empty. No spirit of Christmas. Everybody's just there. You think you were sitting at a funeral parlor once again. You know, and sat there, met a guy. It's kind of new to the place. Which one do you hear? The met another guy. Never mind, this is a gay bar, so it's not really trans appropriate. Let's just say that. Well, not too many guys would look for us inside of this bar. It's like a gay bar, so it's not really, you know. So they saw me through the window. One saw me through the window to make him outside. You know I ain't coming. The other guy who was, one Spanish guy told me, the one outside told me to come outside. I said no. The white guy came inside. He wanted to approach me, was a little afraid. So I said hi, he stayed with me. 22 years I didn't meet the other one. Then there was another Spanish guy, you know, that was talking to me when I walked out the door. You know, it's just amazing. You know, like once upon a time, it used to be like Christmas, like, you know, that happy feeling, and no one had it, you know, and it was kind of sad and stuff, and, you know, and I don't know. I went to a white guy, and me and him hung out and everything, and I don't know. I don't know how to tell you, but let's say this. He opened his coat that was stuff in the inside. The reason why we didn't make it as far as him being my new friend, to say that we kind of got into it. He opened up his coat and his slippers came out. And these slippers came out, his coat was still had the tags on them. And you know how you go shopping and it's hanging up and you can just take it and put it in your coat, you know. People who used to steal understand exactly what I'm talking about. If I open up my coat and you see all these you see these shirts and shit and tags on it inside of it, what you gonna say? Baby, you've been boosted. In other words, you've been stealing. So when I saw it, I was like, he said, oh, I just got that because I needed to take it somewhere, and I will forget it. Now, to me, listen, if that's what you do, I don't care. That's your thing. Listen, do it. So I was talking a question. He put it out again, and the guy was like, the bartender was like, everybody knows when somebody opens up their coat and you got clothes on the inside with tags on them, there's a good possibility that you did not buy these things, because if you did buy it or you purchased it, you could have stuck it in your coat with the inside the bag. Why is it sitting inside of your coat without the tags or the bags and stuff on it? You know what it is. Anyway, he got mad at me. He was like, well, you think I stole it? And obviously he got offended. He walked on. Kind of liked him though, but it is what it is. Listen, you know I'm not in the business of running after a man, and I ain't in the business of keeping a man that don't want to be kept, you know. But it was so sad, and you know, I really liked it. It was pretty cool, and you know, it was sad. And I went downstairs to the PATH train, and these two Chinese ladies told the conductor that she needs to stop the train because they left their lipstick on the train. I said, you want them to stop the train for your lipstick? They're not going to do that. She was like, they looked at me like, bitch, who's talking to you? You know, I don't know. So I came home and everything, went to Penn Station where my heart always breaks, but I went to the bathroom, which I stopped going to the girls' bathroom, went to the bathroom and said, listen, I was over it. I had that long Farrah Fawcett here. I was like, listen, I had to pee. I was like, listen, if y'all gonna throw me out, you're just gonna throw me out. So I went in and peed and everything, and people paid me no mind and stuff like that, and you know, I think a lot of it's in my mom mentally. You know, it's just sad that people start asking me, homeless people, and it's just, I don't know. Just so sad. I was depressed when I left out the house. I was even more depressed when I got up. Anyway, that being said, hopefully this camera did not cut off and stuff, and you know, I finally got a camera that could finally talk to you all the way through. Just prepare for the best. Hope for the worst, prepare for the best. So whatever the saying goes. Anyway, but I'm going to tell you something.
Here we
I had
go.
a drink. And I haven't been drinking, which right now because of the hormones and stuff. I had a drink.
Here we go.
When I tell you that drink
Here
made
we
me
go.
rethink my whole life, I was like, do I really want to take hormones anymore?
Nope.
When I could get all the hormones I want from this little Bacardi with watermelon. Oh,
Mmm.
Bacardi and coconut. Oh,
Mmm.
oh,
Yes, bitch, yes.
oh.
Mother's
When
a
I tell
drunk,
you,
honey. Mmm.
oh, I felt so much better. Like the world was so beautiful and the stars were shining and everybody was happy in my head because I was drunk. And I was like, oh my God, this
Mmm.
is what I've been missing. You know, but it is what it is. And I was so happy. And so if you could take hormones to drink liquor, listen, you could do that if you want your liver, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I'm just rattling on. I just want to tell you what happened to me and stuff. I came home and, you know, I fixed me something to eat, which I'm going to eat again. And I still look a little sleepy because I just got home this morning and I'm making a video. I did my upalai hair because I took the long hair out. I was like, listen, I'm over the long hair. I'm over it. But you know me, I guess the camera back into working for him and everything. Anyway, that being said, you know, I'm always saying I'm over my hair. You know, always changing anyway. So anyway, I don't know what it is with this camera. Every time I turn around, it makes my voice sound like it's 10 octaves deep. That's the reason why people move me in person. Anyway, it is what it is. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I got this text from somebody a few minutes ago telling me, they said it was a mistake if I took it the wrong way. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder which friend is going to betray me next, you know. But anyway, that being said, my camera did cut off and stuff, and I made it actually is lasting longer, which is cool. And I did my upalai hair, which is cool. And once I sleep on it, it'll look better, hopefully. Anyway, that being said, I just want to share that with you. And I want to know, in your area, does it look like Christmas? Is it lights everywhere? Is everybody jumping in joy? Or is everybody, you know, is it like a death? It feels like a death. To me, it feels like a death in the air, you know. And instead of it being a celebration of Jesus Christ was born, or it seemed like this is the day he died, and oh God, it's just a mess. Anyway, that being said, I just want to share that with you. I'm going to get me something to eat. I'm going to contemplate, am I still going to take hormones, or I'm actually going to start going to the liquor store and go back to my old ways when I was
Yes,
happy.
yes. Keep it to yourself. They won't understand.
I have to keep certain things to myself.
Please do, because you know you got them stalkers out there. Talk, bitch. Come on.
Anyway, I just want to let you know I love you. And I want to thank you for watching. Kiss the rays.